Hello folks, I am Ed Overstreet and welcome to the Night Sky Imaging YouTube channel. I'm working on M42. I'm in PixInsight. Let's get started. Okay, I have already ran the weighted batch processing script, but I'm going to show you my settings. And so let's begin with any changes I made. I have my bias master, dark masters. I took 10-second, 30-second, and 60-second subs, and so here are the corresponding darks. I did not use dark flats. Instead, I have a bias. I used bias instead here, and I think, yeah. And then, of course, here are my subs, 10 seconds and 30, 150 30-second frames, 100 10-second frames, and 36 60-second frames. So I also opted not to have interactive checked for both plate solving and for the reference frame normalization, because sometimes I walk away from the weighted batch processing script and I wanted to go ahead and finish whether it has issues with either one of these. I can always come back. PixInsight will remember the progress I had made, and I can restart everything and get back to those points very quickly. And so, and also I can do a plate solve and an astrometric plate solve after the fact, just as easy. So this just allows the continuity of the weighted batch processing script to play itself out. When I come back, if there are issues, I can go directly to those and fix them. So under calibration, I opted to have, I use an RGB bayometrics. I used the DeBayer method as bilinear, and I applied to all frames. So the 10-second, 30, and 60-second frames are all bilinear. Then I had my flats, of course. The color filter array needs to be checked for your flats. I used the L-enhanced filter on an ASI 183 color camera, and always check separate color filter array flat scaling factors. I also always check the highest possible quality option and trade that for speed, and I don't know why I would ever use anything else. I have need to check for a new directory, and that directory will be for, I'm in the month of January, M42, so I'll use the M42 directory. And so I'm not going to run this. If I did the, one other thing, in post calibration, I don't want to separate RGB. I want them combined in this case, and I want to drizzle one time. And so I'm going to apply to all images, and so I have one-time drizzle for my 10-second, 150, and 10-second, 60-second, and 30-second images. Okay, if I ran diagnostic, it would tell me everything's good to go, and if I went ahead and ran this, it would carry out my elections and give me some options, creating my master lights. And so it's already done, so let's go pull those up, and let me close out of this, and we'll open up our masters. And there are The Drizzle auto crop is the one I want for my 10-second, 30-second, and 60-second. So I'm going to blend these together. But that's going to come after they become nonlinear. And let's see what it looks like. Okay, this is the 60-second image, so I want to rename this RGB 60, and let's minimize that, bring it over here, and this would be the 30-second, I guess, yes. And RGB 30. And then this would be the 10-second. Curious to see a little noisy for 10 seconds, but quite a bit of data for 10 seconds. Keep in mind this is a RASA 2, very fast telescope. And I wanted to do the 10-second exposures because I'm interested in maintaining some detail here in this very hot part of this nebula. So if I click on this and look at the lightness line, I'm not blown out, so I have the opportunity really to retrieve some of this detail, and that I'm interested in. So what I want to do now is to, well, let's just start with this one. I want to run DBE on this, and I'm going to use dynamic background extraction tool that I call Edges, where these are my settings. I'll open all of them up. I got these settings from Sean Nielsen, who has a awesome website called Visible Dark, and I highly recommend visiting his website. But these are the settings. Take a screenshot. I'm going to minimize some of them now so I can free up some real estate. But I'm going to choose division, and then I'm going to elect subtraction. So let's apply it. And this is a drizzled image. Everything's going to take a little longer. I'm going to have to close it down and open it back up to, and now I'm going to change this to subtraction, and I'm going to apply that. And we'll close that out. And I'm going to restretch. I'm going to put this back. I'm going to open up the 30-second. I'm going to do the very same thing. And I'm going to open it back up and change it to subtraction. I'm dealing with vignetting, and I'm dealing with light pollution, both of which I have. By the way, I shot this, as I mentioned, with the ASI 183 one-shot color. I used a gain of 0 and an offset of 10 because I did have a new moon when I shot this, or it's pretty close to new moon. It's really good dark skies and good scene. So I was still in a Bartle 6 range, but I went ahead and dropped the gain down to 0, really just to see how it would work. So we're done with the 30-second. Let's go to our 10-second. I haven't already done the 10-second, have I? Let me bring up the History Explorer. 10-second, no. Let me bring it up here. 10-second. Yeah, I already ran dynamic background on it. So did I do it on the 60-second? I did it on the 30. I did it on the, I already checked it. I haven't done it on the 60-second. So let's do the 60-second. History Explorer is always a good place to, when you're doing this kind of work. By the way, if any of these boxes, any of these boxes would have been on any bright stars, I would have moved it, but they were pretty safe. Okay, we're going to close this out. And we're going to open it back up, and we're going to run it in subtraction. Done. Okay. I'm going to do this really fast and down and dirty. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run Blur Exterminator on all 3 images. So let's open up the 60-second one first, and let's bring up Blur Exterminator. I like to take this to 40. I found it kind of comfortable with that. I'm leaving adjusting the star halos to default. I'm in version AI version 2. And I'm not even going to run a real-time preview. I'm going to go ahead and apply it. Okay, this one is in the can. Whoops. So I'm going to put it back where it belongs. Let's go to the 30-second one. Do the same thing. I'll be back when it's finished. Okay, we'll put this one up. And let's do the last one. Up. And we're off. Okay, we have Blur Exterminator applied to all 3 images. Now I am going to apply multilinear transform to all 3 images. This is a noise reduction algorithm, and I'm going to create a real-time preview. And I'm going to unstretch this image. This is an inverted mask, and what I want to do is I want to protect I want to protect the stars from noise reduction, and some of the galaxy or some of the nebula, and so that covers the stars pretty well. And some of the I want to just get the background. Later in the processing, I can use Russell Croman's noise reduction. By the way, I didn't mention it, but Blur Exterminator and Russell Croman's noise reduction are both Russell Croman's script, and I highly recommend adding those to your PixInsight workflow. So I'm going to turn off the mask now, and let's stretch the image again so we can see what's going on. I'm going to zoom in so you can see the noise before, and let's apply it. It's taking a little time due to the age of this Mac. Plus, there you go. So we have applied noise reduction, and you can see the effect. We'll do a before and after. And so I want to do this to all three images. So we've done it to this 10-second image, and we'll park that. I'm going to open up the 30-second image, and I'm going to drag the same settings. And we can put this one to bed. And now let's do the 60-second image. And we'll do the same thing. These are my settings for multilinear transform. They work very well. You can see the noise after and the noise before. So now I'm ready to run background neutralization on all three images. Then we can color, calibrate, and stretch. I'm going to use that preview window, bring up background neutralization, select the preview, and apply. And with that, we can set that aside, bring up the 30-second. We need a background preview. We'll go in that same area. Try to keep stars out of it. And we're going to change the name since this is the 30-second. So here we go. And we'll apply. And we'll put that aside and bring up the 10-second. And we need a background for this as well. So we'll hit that same general area. And we're going to bring up the 10-second preview and apply. Okay, let's just leave this one out. I want to restretch. And I'm going to bring up the spectral photometric color calibration tool. I want to double check, and I'm using the 183 Sony 183. It's the ASI 183 camera, so I have that sensor elected. But if you don't have your sensor in this list, just use the ideal QE curve. It works just as well. So, but I do have the sensor, so I'm going to elect it. And then I'm using the L enhance filter, which is one of the options. And I have my preview already set, so I need to select that for this 10-second image. Preview 10-second, and let's apply spectrophotometric color calibration. Okay, we have calibrated this one. We can remove the preview, and let's now bring up the 30-second. Let me change the preview to 30-second preview and apply. And kind of got hung up. There we go. Okay, and now finally we'll remove this and do the 10-second. I got to double check. Did I do the 10-second? Let's see. 60-second. No, I haven't done the 60-second. I did the 10-second. Yeah. So let's do the 60-second. All right. 10 seconds been calibrated. I just lose track. And we need to change the preview window to thus. And let's apply it. Okay. This is now done. We can remove this preview and restretch. And so I don't pay much attention to these stretches. They look horrible right now. So we are going to actually run either histogram transformation. What are we going to do? Let's try make this a quick and down and dirty. I don't know if I'm going to do a generalized hyperbolic stretch on all three of these. I think I'm just going to go up to script and use the easy processing soft stretch. And let's see what happens. I like it. And this is a preview, so let's go ahead and run it. Looks like a decent stretch. Now let's bring up the 30-second. Let's do the same thing. Let's go to script, easy processing, soft stretch. And run that. Let's bring up the 10-second, do the same. Okay, now that we have applied a stretch, we are now in the nonlinear state, and the first thing that I'm going to want to do now is to I'm thinking, how do I want to do this? I'm looking at the detail in the 60-second image, in the 30-second, and in the 10-second. And of course the 10-second is clearly, I've got to maintain that. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to combine these images just yet. I'm going to treat each one of these again individually, and I'm going to make a luminosity mask for this one, and it is the Loom 60, and I'm going to bring up the LRGB combine. This is going to be my color. I'm going to get my color from this image, and I'm going to turn off R, G, and B, and I'm going to drop this in the Loom channel. I'm going to take the saturation down to 340. That's 320, that's fine. I'm going to apply it probably twice. And let's do it again. Okay, that is ample. All right, I'm going to put this up here. I don't think I'll use that luminosity mask again. All right, I'm going to create a mask of this area right here so that I can blend in the 10-second. I'll tell you what, let's just go ahead and run, let's go ahead and saturate all three of these. Let's let me go ahead and get another Loom layer. and this is on the 10-second, and bring this down here, turn this off. Let's drag this down to 320. Let's apply it twice. Let's apply it again. You know, for 10 seconds, that looks pretty decent. Okay, it's a little strong, but I'm going to keep it. And 30, we're going to need a loom layer here. And I'm going to drop it right there. It didn't go. Try it again. Alright, let's just reset this. And we got to turn these off. Drag this down to 320. And we'll apply this twice. One more time. Okay, we can get rid of these icons. These luminosity mask. We don't need those. Return that. Get rid of this. Now I'm going to remove the stars from each one of these, and actually, nope. I'm going to bring up Pixel Math. This is an experiment. Let me find Pixel Math. Want to reset this, and I'm going to create a new image. It will be RGB. I'm going to take, before I do that, I'm going to create a game mask right here, and let's get a little bigger, and I'm going to take a multi-point, I want to protect, I want the detail from the 10-second image to be added here. Okay, that works. So let's create a gradient mask. And there we have it. So let's apply it. We don't need to show the mask. So, okay, so the only thing that's going to get worked on is this area right here. And I'm going to take, I'm going to take the, bring up the expression editor, and I'm going to add the 10% image hang on a minute. 10% right to this. So I create a new image, and I just added the detail from the 10% to this part of the 60-second image. So now I have a RGB combine, and I'm going to remove the mask. I may use that mask later, so mask, remove, and this is my 60-second image. Probably won't need that again. By the way, I need to retitle this Recombine 60 seconds, and it also has the 10. And while we're combining, then now I'm going to take the let's clear this, and I'm going to add 60% times the RGB combine plus 30% times the RGB 30 plus 10% of the RGB 10, and we're going to apply that. That failed. What did I do wrong? 60 times RGB combined plus 60 plus 30 times RGB 30 plus 70 times 10 times RGB. So screwed up. Let's try it again. I think I got it right. Okay, no, I did something wrong. 0.10, dang it. 0.30 and 0.60. It's got to add up to 1. I'm losing it, guys. All right, let's go back. Now let's do it. It's too late in the night. Okay, so I wanted to create a new image, but I ended up replacing it. That's fine. So now we have we're just now going to call this starless, because we're going to remove the stars and do some additional work. So I'm going to bring up Russell Croman's Star Exterminator, and bingo. Okay, stars removed. We're just going to call this stars. And okie doke. It's done a nice job. And so what I want to do now is bring up my mask again and apply that, so that I'll just be working on this area right here, and I want to I don't need to show the mask. We'll bring up curves. I'll make a real-time preview, RGBK, and I'll drag this down a little bit. I'm trying to let's try it there and run it a couple times. I'll do another iteration. I'm just trying to bring out some detail in that this area right here. Let's try it one more time. Let's go back. Well, actually, That works. Now let's go back. That's too much. All right. We got the mask still applied. I'm going to reset. I'm going to bring out saturation, and I'm going to saturate it a little bit. And I'm going to run that once. And then I'm going to take the mask and I'm going to invert it so that now I'm working on everything else but. And I'm going to create my real-time preview, and I'm going to go back to, well, let's go to saturation and bump it up a bit while we're on it. And let's apply that. Okay, only one time for that. Let's bring up our RGBK component, and I'm going to make a modest S-curve. And let me see where my histogram is. Okay, let's bring this up a little bit here. Drag this down a little bit there. Let's apply that. And okay, let's reset. And now I want to lift a little bit of the nebulosity that's in that background. So now I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Background's fine. I'm going to close this out. Shut down curves. And I'm going to bring up the local histogram equalization. I'm going to bring up a real-time preview. I want to work on this without the stars. The stars are already going to be affected by either Bill Blanchard's star reduction and or the one from Luke. So I'm going to bring this over to about 150. And I want to check this off. On. Off. On. When it comes some more, I believe. Come on, Strag. Well. $200. I like it. Off. On. Yeah. So we're going to, I can turn off the real-time preview. I get rid of the mask. Nope. Actually, I'm going to run it on everything. Let me try that real-time preview and see how it does on the hot area. Yeah, I'm going to bring the mask back. Okay. I'm going to protect that a little more. And we're going to have to invert it. So we're just working on the rest. Yep. Okay. Let's go ahead and apply it. Okay. Let's check this out. I don't have a need to run any more noise reduction. When I don't see a noise issue, so I wouldn't run it now anyway. Well, I would if I was going to do it before I added the stars back. But let me remove the mask, and let's now let's take a look at our stars. They actually look fine. But they have a very blue bias, so I'm going to bring up curves and real-time preview, and under RGBK I'm going to let me reset everything. And we're going to let's see, Let's just bring him down a little bit. Some of the lightness back. Yeah. Alright, let's drag him down again. And apply that. And then I'm going to go back and get my saturation. And I'm going to drag that down a little bit. They're overly saturated. And I'm going to apply that. I'm done. Now, I may have over processed those stars. I'm going to put up the links to where you get these rescreening tools from Luke, his website. He created these. They're awesome. I love them. I'm going to take the starless first, and I'm going to apply the PixInsight calculations for this. And so I now have starless 1. I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to bring up stars. I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to bring out rescreening for the stars, and I'm going to apply this, and I'll get a new image called stars 1. There it is. So I'm going to put this back, and then I'm going to go down here to rescreen for stars and starless, and I'm going to apply it right here, and I've added my stars back to my image. And so I'm going to put these aside, and this was my mask, and this is my finished project. I could possibly add some noise reduction. Don't need noise reduction. Some unsharp mask, but I really don't think that's selectively, maybe in the area here, but some structure, but or clarity. But I'm okay. I think I'm okay with it right there. And I'll just rename this now, identifier. We'll just call this M42 and save it. Now, I would typically save this as a project, and I would save all of my steps. My History Explorer would have everything that I've done with each channel. I would just go up and save project, and I would give it M42 and save it in the directory where I have my subs masters stored, and I would save this and probably take it into Photoshop to create images for the web and images for prosperity. And there you have it. With that being said, let's sign off, and I'll catch you guys later. And I will post the links to these, to Russell Croman's scripts and to these rescreening tools by Luke. So I'll definitely do that.